Needed subtitles on that, didn't you? Flat cap and a cold one. Okay, this is part 2 of Haunted House or something. I'll have to look it up what I called it, I can't remember now. Part 1, a haunting, is it? Or something I called it anyway. But this is part 2. Now if you haven't seen part 1, take a look at part 1, because if you start watching this you may not understand exactly what I'm going on about, or the layout of the flat above Loveland Garage. I would also like to point out, I may have a few refills in this and don't know how long this is going to last for this video, but yeah, the part in the attic above the top of the stairs, top bedroom, first bedroom, and the front room, we used to call it. We used to walk along the walkway and it used to be cut out in bricks. You used to squeeze through it and then you were in the section above the top of the stairs, and it was always warm in there. Not hot, but warm. It was absolutely beautiful. You could put a chair there and you'd have a kip. It was lovely and warm. It's very strange. And then you'd go back to the other, back through the bricks. It was like the bricks were knocked out like an opening, and it was just like normal. It'd be cool in the attic, but it was always warm in that place. So anyway, oh god, I'll be saying obviously basically next. So anyway, obviously basically, this is not in chronological order, not exactly in the order of how it happened. I'm just gonna say, my experiences. Where shall I begin? Firstly, screaming my name out loud, and it was always in the middle of the night, and it would wake me up. Got to remember, I was perhaps 8, 9, something like that, and I'd be fast asleep. Graham! He's just shout that. Oh, he used to wake me up, but I got used to that. At first I used to think, what? Who's there? Or who wants me? Or who's shouting me? Or whatever. And it used to happen again and again and again. And I used to wake me up. And I used to just say, oh, that's it. Just turn over and go back to sleep, wherever. I used to just totally ignore it. So that's it. It's my name getting shouted out in the middle of the night. Doors used to open. Look at that. My party trick. Yeah, this is just swing open, or the bedroom door, you close it at night. They were never locked. They did have locks on them, but they were never locked. Just push 2, and in the morning, next day in the morning, the door would be open. Big heavy wooden doors they were. And what else? In the corridor, it had, like I say, you're probably not thinking corridor. Was he going on about? I explained the layout and everything in the first video. You see, so if you want to follow this video, then watch the first video. The corridor probably was about 30 feet long, probably a bit more, perhaps 40 feet long. It was about 3 feet wide, perhaps not so much 3 feet, perhaps 2.5 feet wide. It was a narrow corridor. And where you walked on, if I can best describe it, it was this like transparent clear covering that you used to put on carpets. You used to roll it out. There was a bit of a grip on it. And underneath it had like these prongs, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you can still get it now. And it used to grip the carpet. And it was like not a rubber, not soft, but it was like a bit hard. If you can, picture that stuff. I don't know what it's called. But you used to roll it out. Basically, obviously, used to protect the carpet. It used to have these like prongs. And that was the width of the corridor. And it was at night. You'd hear some sort of animal. It sounded like a dog. Tick, 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 tick. You could hear its its paws trotting. It starts at the far end, and it tick 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 tick. Then it would pause at the bedroom end, the first bedroom, the front room, and the top of the stairs. And then you'd hear, if you turn, and tick 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 tick, hear it, and it used to run up and down, or I used to hear it run up and down about 4 times. You start at the end, turn round, start at the end, turn round. But not every night, it'd be a break of a month or 2 or what have you, and then you'd hear it again, and the night it used to wake you up. Some sort of animal. So what that was, no idea. And then there was, I was at the top of the stairs, which leads down to the front door, which lead out into Love Lane. And in the hall, at the bottom there was a ball, plastic like football. And I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something at the top of the stairs, or I come out the front room, something like that. And I happened to look down, and this ball, it was like that. It started moving on its own. The bottom of the hall, at the bottom of the stairs, was, I don't know, 4 foot by 4 foot, and then there wasn't anything else there. And then you climbed the stairs then, and this ball, it was going to, it started moving. It was like that. Next minute, it came dunk, 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 and it came bouncing up the stairs, and it landed by my feet. Explain that. So that's another thing that's happened. Another thing was, we used to have two boxer dogs, 2 boxers, not box, but boxer dogs, in the old garage. Which me and my brother, there was just me and my brother in the house, and we were in the living room. Like I say, if you've watched the first video, you'll know exactly the layout. And we heard these boxer dogs going crackers in the old garage, which is above the showroom, which is the 2nd floor, and above the old garage was the attic. And they were going barking, and we thought, oh, they're bloody barking, because they used to bark at people in Love Lane walking past, or if they had a dog or whatever, they'd be barking at them. And we thought, oh, we better go and shut them up. So we come from the living room, through the kitchen, straight across to the little door by the sink, undo the hook, open the door, and then you were in the old garage then. And the boxer dogs, I had a lamping, this is shooting, and I had a lamping light, a big bloody powerful, and I had that with me. I shone it, and they weren't nowhere near the windows which lead, which face onto the road. They were in the centre, and they were looking up into the attic, and they were backing and jumping up. They were going berserk. So we thought, oh, bloody hell, is there someone, that's got up into the attic or something? So we quickly, brother and I've got this lamping light, we shot across through the swing door onto the top of the stairs from the showroom, straight across to the little room, and then you've got another little door, little wooden door, and you've got a set of wooden little stairway which leads up into the attic. That's the only way you can get to and from the attic. There's no other way you can get there to or from the attic. So we were there like a shot, and we searched. I was scanning around this lab, and there was no one there. There was absolutely no one there. So that was strange. So and they say dogs can hear things and what have you, but we never heard it. We just, with the boxer dogs were going crackers, and we were looking up and barking up towards the attic. And that's another thing. And another one was, I was in the first bedroom, at the top of the stairs, top of the landing, little front room. Then you got the first bedroom, and I remember it. And I was playing darts. I had a dartboard, and it was a Saturday afternoon, and I heard footsteps up in the attic. I thought, who's up there? Perhaps my tide sometimes used to go up there, but in the first half he never used to go up the ladder. My tide, by the way, is my grandfather, used to be in the garage. Sometimes he would go up there, perhaps you would go for a car part or something. But if you watch the first video, you'll know that the first part above, well, you've got the old garage above the showroom, and above the showroom you got the attic, but it was split into two. You had a big ladder, you climbed over that, then you were above the flat. Then that attic area was above the flat. The other part was above the showroom and the old garage. And there was a walkway above the skylight, the skylights, I should say, above the corridor. It was like glass panels, not skylight. Glass panels with a skylight in the roof, which I'll get to that in a minute. And I heard these footsteps, and I thought, it can't be tied, because he wouldn't be able to climb the ladder. And I thought, what the hell's that? So I came out the first bedroom, turned right. I was in the corridor then. If you look up, above is the glass panels, and if you're actually in the top, in the attic, you've got the walkway. It was a little wooden board, because you've got the beams and the plaster. You could walk across the beams, certain areas, but if you didn't walk across the beams, obviously your foot would come through the ceiling. So there's a walkway. It was only 2 foot wide, and it was right next to these glass panels where you'd be in the corridor and you'd look up, and the glass panels and the walkway would be there on the side. If you were in the first bedroom end, it would be on your right. And these footsteps, someone was walking, or it sounded like someone was walking on this walkway. So I walked down to and I was looking up, and above, and this, on the actual roof of the building, there were skylights, and the light, the sun, the light, or whatever, would shine through. So if anyone was on that walkway, you'd see a silhouette. The roof, the panels, the glass panels above the corridor, they weren't clear. They were patterned and whatever, but you'd still see, if anyone was walking along that walkway, we used to call it, you'd see a silhouette, and there was nothing there. And I was walking down the corridor, and I was following these footsteps. I was walking like that, and there was nothing. There was nothing there. And yet these footsteps, they were walking the full length of this walkway, come to the end, stopped, I was there like that, and you could hear shuffling, turn around, and they walked back, ding, ding, ding. And I was walking down the corridor like that, looking up, and there was nothing. All you could see was the light from the skylight. But if anyone was on that walkway, you'd see it would block the light. You'd see something. Like I say, the actual glass panels, they weren't clear, but you would see something. There was nothing, but you could clearly hear these footsteps. And another time, I'd moved, and we split. My brother had the first bedroom, and I had the end bedroom next to the bathroom. Very end bedroom. As you look at Love Lane Garage, you'll see 4 windows. You'll see the opening of Love Lane Garage, and then you've got 1, 2 windows, a narrow window and a wider window. That was the first bedroom. Then you've got a centre window above the doors of the garage. That was the second bedroom. And I used to have the third bedroom, which you'll see a window at the end, and then you've got the showroom, which is at the bottom, and then the old garage, and then the attic. And I had that bedroom, which is right next to the old garage on the same level. And there's one night, there was all sorts of commotion going on in the old garage. It sounded that the floor of the old garage was made of wood, and there was a swing door. Where you came from the kitchen, you'd open it and you'd drop, there was about a couple of steps, and you'd go diagonally across, and there was a swing door. If you went through that, you could either go straight ahead to the little small room, and then through another door up into the attic, or if you opened the swing door, if you immediately turned right, you go down some wooden steps down to the showroom, which was on ground level. And that swing door, we used to call it the swing door, because it was never locked, and it was on a spring. you'd open it and it would ding, 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 ding. You'd hear this spring stretching. If you let go of it, the door, bang, it would shut, and it would shut with a slam. We used to come up the steps, just push the door, we used to go through, and the door behind you, dang, it would just close because it was on a spring, and we called it the spring door. And there was one night, I could hear footsteps, bang, bang, like people stamping. It was really noisy. And also, it was like heavy sacks or heavy boxes. That's the only way I could describe it. Something like really heavy, as if you were sliding a sack or pushing a box, a heavy box, on this wooden floor. It was like that. And the swing door, you could hear the opening and the spring, it used to stretch, it used to bend, and it was ding, 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 and bang, ding, 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 bang. The bloody swing door was opening and slamming shut. The next day, went through to the kitchen, opened the old, the door, went into the old garage. Nothing moved, no disturbance, no sign of anything. It was, I'm sure there's some other things which I can't quite probably remember, but that's a few of the things that used to happen in Loving Garage. That is, in my opinion, that place is haunted, definitely. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? There most probably was. Some other weird happenings. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little two-parter, flat cap and a cold one. I'll see you in the next one.